Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. Saturn in Gemini is turning you into an amazing communicator. Some of you will even turn around and be motivational speakers. And when you tell people how hard it was for you to once communicate or even learn, they might find it hard to believe because you do it so well. And if that's not your story right now, trust me, in time, that will be your story. Because Saturn in Gemini, like earlier in life, you may find that you were probably in a special ed class, or maybe you were dyslexic or had some form of learning disability. And because of that, there was a lot of shame. Saturn is associated with shame. There was a lot of shame when it came to communicating and expressing yourself. So maybe for a while, you avoid communication, you avoid groups, you avoid being outgoing as you really are. And even if you are an introvert, you probably use that as your excuse to avoid communication on a whole, to avoid looking stupid. But in time, if you're aware of this placement and aware of this energy, and you push yourself to speak even when you are uncomfortable to speak, Saturn will force you to get better when it comes to this energy. And when it comes to this placement, you may find that in time, you are knowledgeable about almost every single subject you can think of, because Saturn will challenge you to be self-educated. Like, you won't have to go to college in order to master certain topics. You'll just be able to know when it comes to certain topics. And Gemini energy by itself can be a bit surface and not focused, just curious about every little thing. But with Saturn being here, it makes this energy even more special, apart from the challenges that you have to go through. But it makes this energy so special because, instead of just being so surface, you grow to be more in depth when it comes to your curiosity, when it comes to different subjects and things like that. With Gemini having to do with community and siblings, you might find that you have a hard time when it comes to your siblings. In some people's cases, you might find that you love your siblings or even your community or your family members. You love them to pieces and you will do anything for them, anything in your power. But for some reason, the relationship with them brings a lot of pain and disappointment. And that's just Saturn helping you to see people and situations for what and who they really are, how to assert yourself and be true to yourself when it comes to these connections. Saturn also basically having to do with limitations, and Gemini energy having to do with the lungs. You may have found that, as a child, you had asthma or some kind of breathing complications. But as you got older, you grew out of it because, with Saturn, wherever Saturn is in time, that thing will get better. And when it comes to, say, like your community, your relationships with your siblings and things like that, I think about like how karma and our idea of karma can be a big block in our lives and hold us back. I personally believe that karma is taught. I believe that we are taught karma from the minute we come outside of the womb, based on the emotions that we pick up from the people around us, and after a while, their facial expressions, and eventually the actual rewards and punishments. So we are taught that good behavior is rewarded and bad behavior is punished. So even though we didn't decide what good or bad is, as we get older, we become our own parents and punish ourselves for what we perceive as good behavior or bad behavior. And even when we're not consciously punishing ourselves, subconsciously we know that this is a bad behavior, so it will be punished. So we project into our own reality and basically assume punishment. And of course, life, the universe, is going to confirm our physical reality and make it match the one that we are holding within. And we find that, oh, I was right. I was going to get punished for this, or I was going to get punished for that. And I say all that because, you know, with Gemini having to do with the community and siblings, you might find that you have some toxic people in your life. But because of the whole karma thing, and depending on how you were raised and what you were told, you might feel an obligation to keep yourself in situations that aren't working for you, and feel a sense of responsibility when it comes to these places, people, you know, or whatnot, having to do with the Gemini energy. And force yourself to stay in situations because you feel that sense of responsibility that Saturn brings. And on a positive note, with Saturn being in Gemini, Gemini having to do with our siblings and our community, you'll naturally be assertive and play the mother-father role when it comes to your siblings. It's like you'll naturally take responsibility for them and feel like they are your responsibility. But in time, you'll realize that they're actually not your responsibility, and everybody believes that they know what is best for themselves. So it is important for you to allow them to figure out and decide what is best for themselves, and focus on you living your best life and having great experiences, because life is all about experiences, and becoming aware of yourself and the things that are challenging you, and basically, you know, the areas that you can work on to have more growth, and at the same time celebrate your strengths so they can be even stronger. So yes, with Saturn and Gemini, you know, this is going to teach you to have better boundaries when it comes to your siblings, your community, your family members. It's going to help you to be a way better communicator, a better speaker, a better someone who can teach themselves things. Because again, earlier in school, you might have a hard time reading, learning, spelling, just being educated, and you're not dumb at all. You're not slow. There's nothing wrong with you. It is just wherever Saturn is, that area of our lives is like wine. It gets beautiful and greater over time. So over time, yes, you will be that phenomenal speaker, self-educated person who is very intellectual, who knows a little bit about just about everything, or knows a good depth about just about anything. I am so happy to see that you are still here at the end of this video. Please give me a thumbs up in the comment box below if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like this video so that you can help this channel to grow. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I look so forward to seeing you in the next video.